Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The Bulgarian heavyweight contender Kubrat Pulev riding high in the latest update of the WBO rankings, while Adam Kownacki, who once occupied a high spot, gone altogether after a recent loss. So we'll come to that, but what we'll do is we'll start at the top of the top 15 update, which, who knows, could be the last update for a while given everything that's going on. No real boxing on the horizon, so I'd imagine that some of these rankings may stay the same for some time. We'll have to see, but Alexander Usyk at the top here. He remains number one courtesy of his super champion status. He's got a fight coming up with Derek Chisora, but with everything going on, May the 23rd, that could end up getting pushed back a number of months. It's really hard to say with the situation. It's quite fluid with the global pandemic. We shall see, but he is fighting Chisora next, and then he'll obviously, if he gets past Chisora, he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, who is the WBO champion as it stands. Number two, no change. Joseph Parker recently beat Shondell Winters. Number three, Daniel Dubois. He has a fight scheduled with Joe Joyce. That has been postponed, so they're targeting now July 11th, same venue, O2 in London. It's a shame that that's been pushed back 3 months, but I guess it is what it is. But yeah, you'd imagine that they'd have to take a break at this point. It's a break from training camp. They've already been there for 6 or 8 weeks or so, and then we shall see them coming back into camp closer to the fight. That date, even in July, that could be at risk at this point as well. We'll have to see what happens. Number four, this is the real mover in the rankings because he wasn't even there before. Kubrat Pulev straight into number four. He replaces Adam Kownacki, who is dumped altogether. So Kownacki, as we know, fought Robert Helenius on March the 7th. He got stopped in 4 rounds, and his fall from rankings across all the sanctioning bodies has been swift. Dumped from the IBF in their update, now dumped from the WBO in theirs. And sometimes, if you do take a loss, you can just sort of fall down. Say, for example, Tom Schwartz, he had been at number 2 previously when he fought Tyson Fury, but then he lost. He remained in the top 15. So maybe you can make a case that it's a little brutal on Adam Kownacki, who was at number 4, but Kubrat Pulev in at number 4. This was always going to happen because he's got Anthony Joshua, his next fight. The WBO wants to clip the ticket because Joshua would be defending his title, the WBO, along with the IBF and WBA. So this was always going to happen at some point. But I guess with Kownacki losing, it makes it easy to plug in Pulev and take out Kownacki. Number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9... all remain the same. So at number 5, you have Andy Ruiz Jr. He keeps on social media, to the point of it's annoying me now, saying that he's got a big announcement coming soon. I mean, what if we heard that about 5 or 6 times in different posts in recent weeks? If you've got a fight coming up, and if you intend to fight Chris Arreola or whatever, just actually announce that instead of announcing an announcement and then announcing another announcement is coming soon. It is getting a bit tired, and clearly Ruiz Jr. wants a tune-up. He's not looking to take on stiff opposition at the top end of the division, so just, stop delaying the inevitable. If you are intending to face Chris Arreola, just say that. Number 6, Junior Fa. There has been some talk for him that he may face Joseph Parker, potentially mid-year in New Zealand. It's not exactly a fight, and I can tell you, I'm from New Zealand. It's not exactly a fight that people are clamoring for here in New Zealand. Junior Fa, not a household name. Joseph Parker, maybe not as popular as he once was. There's no real sort of beef in the rivalry at this point. Both sides are talking it up. Junior Fa's team is asking for $1 million. I mean, it's a fight. If it happens, yeah, okay, I'm sure I'll watch it. But it's one of these rivalries that from the amateur days, they sort of had a couple of wins apiece, but there's been no real developing it in the pros. The rivalry hasn't really been built. It's just stagnated. And then his name comes up for a fight with Joseph Parker, and a lot of people I know, friends and family that I've spoken to about this potential fight, it's just kind of meh. So I mean, I don't know how much interest they can really build towards that fight in New Zealand, but even though they're talking it up, and David Higgins obviously likes that fight for Joseph Parker, his advisor and manager, trying to say it'll be massive in New Zealand, I'm not so sure. Number 7, Michael Hunter. He's been looking for a fight, and obviously one of these guys didn't have a fight scheduled. He's not necessarily impacted by the sort of what's going on because there was no fight scheduled for him, but it delays his return to the ring further because if there's no cards for him to sort of target, he'll just be sitting on the sidelines with everyone else. Yevgeniy Romanoff, the man who beat Deontay Wilder from the amateurs, he's got the WBO Global strap. It would have been interesting to see what he was going to do next because he hasn't been in the ring for a while. There's been some rumors he was going to potentially face one or two matchroom guys, but we'll just have to sort of put that on ice for the moment. Derek Chisora, who has the Intercontinental title, he holds firm at number 9, obviously due to face Alexander Usyk May 23rd. We'll see if that date goes ahead. Chisora, an underdog for many in that fight. Number 10, Frank Sanchez-Fouré. He is up one place this month. He swaps places with Zhili Zhang. Zhang at number 11. Sanchez-Fouré coming off a good win against Joey DeWeco on March the 7th. That was on the Kownacki Helenius undercard. Sanchez, he looked good in that fight for the most part. It was good exposure for him. A lot of people really hadn't seen him fight before that. At number 12, no change, Joe Joyce. He's got that fight with Daniel Dubois pushed back 3 months. He's been training in the United States, even with the likes of MMA star Francis Ngannou. Number 13, Dempsey McKean. He is up one place this month to 13th. He fought Johnny Rice on March the 7th down in Australia and looked pretty decent in that fight. It was very close and competitive, and then he got a final round stoppage, almost a final second when that one was called off. Tom Schwartz, who's been continuously ranked in the WBO since 2016, he drops one place this month to number 14. At number 15, you have Filip Hrgovic. He had a fight scheduled against Jerry Forrest for April the 17th, but that has been called off. So a lot of these guys had fights and it has been called off. But the big mover this month, Kubrat Pulev at number 4, comes in as a plug-in. Adam Kownacki taken out, dumped from the rankings altogether. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.